Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Indian Racing League. This is round 11 of 11. We are at the end of the season for the season finale at Abu Dhabi, as always, and we have a championship to decide. Speaking of championship, I have with me VFX in the comms box, our newly crowned IRL champion for the first time in his career. VFX, how are you doing, and how good was that race last time around? I know you didn't win, but you still see the championship. And how does it feel to finally get that one ticked off?
Yeah. Well, hello everyone. Hope you're having a fine time right now. Yeah, and to answer your question, Madhav, before anyone goes out on track, might as well talk about myself. I mean that's a lie. I would talk about myself even if somebody was about to set the world record time right now. But yes, yeah, finally after like so many seasons, 3 years, 3 seasons. I mean, of being runner-up and then fourth. I mean, third in season 4, I think, and then the infamous like what 171 days. I think it was the drought, if you
Yeah,
remember correctly.
160 plus, maybe 170 as well, definitely.
Yeah, so I mean, it feels good, but let's see now who here between our two protagonists can replicate that feeling uh, tonight. It'll be a fun one, especially how consistent these two have been. And following this whole season, as I've been commentating on most of the races this season, and just to see such insane consistency, I've likened it to those few races in 2013 where Alonso and Vettel were always just finishing first and second. If you remember correct, if you remember that, that was the run of 2013 Vettel.
Absolutely. So this season between Yash and Mayank, who are the two championship rivals at the moment, Mayank leading Yash by 10 points going into this last race by 10 points and 7 victories between the two of two VFX. So that is 7 out of 10 races. It's either Yash or Mayank who have won. Yash getting 7 wins, 5 wins rather, and Mayank getting the other 2. So it's been pretty dominant display from both of them. And while constructors is also yet to be sealed, I think that's a gap of 35 points which
Oh,
Mercedes has.
as we have a crash, I think.
Or do we? Oh yeah,
I
Deadly
think
Mosquito has crashed out. Is that in the pit lane?
has he retired in the pits or has he crashed? That's what I want to
Oh,
know.
I think he was serving a collie ban and he was specifically asked not to leave the pits, but for some reason he
Oh
has. And
yeah, so he has, yes. Because if you expected Hershey right now, yeah, that is a bit.
yeah, and I was
I mean, his car
spectating.
will disappear from the track as well.
Yeah, and I was spectating a legendary driver in Suraj, and this might be his last race for a while before we see him back in action after a few months break. On this circuit, we are a couple of sectors away from the legendary corner, which I would like to
Yes.
file a petition to make to rename it to the Sen 7B corner. But yeah, talking about Suraj, it has been a slightly disappointing season for him. All of us had a lot of hopes from him. It's not been a championship fight, but can still help his teammate win the championship and can help his team win the constructors title here tonight. So, lot riding on his shoulders, and let's see how
Yeah.
he does as he approaches
You
the
know,
triple
sometimes
chicane.
things don't necessarily go the way you want to, because he's had a lot of bad luck and he's made a lot of mistakes, and he is his own harshest critic. So I think there'll be no one more disappointed than him in himself, and hopefully this sabbatical that he has does make him a better driver. Showing solidarity, of course, with Sebastian Vettel, who also doesn't want to drive the Aston Martin. Let's be honest, I wouldn't want to
Yeah, I
either.
mean, who does not recover from COVID in a couple in a week these days? That's what's very bizarre from Seb. But round the final corner goes Suraj. It has been a scrappy lap, 39.0. I'm sure he can up the pace on that. And Sid Kulkarni has gone provisional fastest at 37.1. What kind of lap times are you
And
expecting here tonight, VFX, if they are set on the soft tires?
Um, I don't know. Could we see a 33, late 33? Gonna place it into the 34.5. That's a safe margin. Of course, here we have Yash Gosalia, who is on his lap now. So the first of the protagonists, and Mayank is playing this very smart. He's not come out of the pitch at all yet. He's just waiting.
He's
biding
waiting.
his
I
time.
think he's also saving a set of tires for the race. I'm pretty sure he will do just 2 runs tonight, as we are on board with Yash Kosalia in the third sector. This is where Checo backed up Hamilton to no ends in the real life Grand Prix. Ace has gone fastest with 36.5. That time will come tumbling down as Yash Kosalia has just one more corner to go before he sees the start finish straight on the medium tires. Let's see what this banker is going to be. It's P5, the
37 dead.
37 dead.
It's 2 seconds quicker than Suraj, but I don't think Suraj is. I think he's running quite a lot of fuel in his
Yeah,
car.
and he did make a couple of mistakes on his lap as well.
Yes.
So let's discount that lap
I'll
from
say one
Suraj.
thing: track evolution is insane on this track because you are basically riding from the sunset, where it's still relatively hot, to when the last few minutes is basically night time, and it's so much cooler. And the tires are so much more cooperative. So it will definitely come down as those laps trickle down. As we were speaking about Suraj, he does go instead a 37-0.
Yeah,
So
37-0 for him. So people already knocking on the doors of 36s. And let's see how the rest of the session goes. Anton Hypers across the line and he goes P10 with a 37.5. I'm trying to see if there are other drivers on a lap right now. I'm not sure if someone is. Oh, who was that? Indie Gamer completely off the track and without a front wing. Something terrible has happened to the Williams, and he'll have to make his way back into the pits. He has set a lap time of 37.4, so this might be his in lap, and yeah, he'll have to. When Williams team, they're already. Oh my God, he's just straight lining this. So that's the old layout which he just took there.
That is.
And there are
Here
no
comes
cars.
Max Verstappen vibes through there. Man.
Right, that's the exact corner where Verstappen overtook Hamilton, but yeah. So all right, he's on his way back. Let's try to catch someone else on a lap. Oh, restaurant dub! My God, the way he just
And
rode
there
that
goes
curb.
Yash Kosali. I was talking about the track improvement on this track, and it is proving to be true. So I expect this lap actually from Gosalia to be beaten. I expect the lap time to tumble down still by quite a lot. It's still not. The sun has just now started to set, so they will get like 2 or 3 minutes with like very cool track conditions, and it's only one lap, so your tires will not overheat.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, Mayank is on an out lap, so next time he's on the across the start finish straight, VFix, if you would like to take us through this lap, it's probably one of his most important qualifying laps of the season, as this is the championship finale, and the higher he can start tonight, the higher his chances are that he'll be along with Yash Kosalia.
He's trying to he's prepping himself. Nicely done through there. Could have taken a wider entry to get a quicker time, but as here he goes. Now into turn 1, very very tricky to get this braking wrong. That curve, these curves want to spit you out right now. The next one, this left-handed kink into this long right-hander. If you hit that curve at the wrong angle, you will get spun out very easily. That's true for quali and the race as well. A bit cautious from him so far, but still looks like the purple sector didn't attack those curves at the end of sector 1 as much as he probably will in a later lap maybe. Right now just trying to maximize the exit into this very 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 long straight. We should hopefully see a lot of overtakes here, a lot of switchbacks, Leclerc Verstappen style, but braking in very very tricky to get this one wrong. And now this one, slight elevation change. These cars do not like that at all. They get very jumpy, and he has the moment. As I was saying that that is perhaps the trickiest section now coming up. You have to turn your car so precisely here, and it's very easy to invalidate it as well as the curves can throw you off. And then as soon as you're done with that technical section, you're met with this like sharp left-hander. You have to brake so soon. That really does a number on your brakes. And by this time the brakes will be screaming. The temperatures will have gone so high as he goes through this short section near the hotel, and he's invalidated it. It was purples in 1 and 2, but his car was just looking a bit non-compliant through that last sector. So that leads me to believe that he might be running a bit less wing than most people.
Yeah, it was going well until that point, but yeah, you are right. It looked like he had a just slight bit of understeer, which basically understeered his car onto the outside of the track.
And
Sid
right now,
Kulkarni
Yash
has just
Gosalia is in all the power position here because he's set that lap on mediums. If no one improves, well, he can just start on medium tires on pole as well.
absolutely well. He has set a set of soft tires on his car now, so maybe
And
he will come out on those red mark tires. Spectating Sid Kulkarni right now on first of the two long back
very good
straights.
season from Sid Kulkarni. He made his IRL comeback this season and definitely looks like he hasn't lost the touch after his bit of a sabbatical. I think the last time we saw him was in season 5 or season 4. Or
No, he was in season 5. Yeah, he did.
Just the beginning of season 5.
Yes,
Which
he
was
did.
a long time ago now. That was like almost 1 year ago.
Oh, and Manan has
I think Manan
retired.
has crashed. Yep, he
Yeah.
has crashed in the last sector.
Oh, that's
no, in
sector
the
one.
first sector
That's
near
sector
the
one. Yeah.
sweeping corners. What a noob. But yeah, there's a reason why we're talking about Yash Gosalia and Mayank today and not Manan. Yeah. But
Right.
Malav, I did want to ask you a question. If you are coming up to one of these championship protagonists, as Easy Level has also been it, or
I think that's on the start finish straight, you know. I'm not sure that's in the pits.
If you were one of these championship, if you were a guy battling these two championship protagonists, would you give them space, or would you just try and force one? Because you know they can't take as much risk as you with the moves.
I think, I mean, it depends on what kind of battle I am in. Obviously, not in a championship battle, but if I'm fighting for a place in constructors, I might still want to battle them hard enough. But I definitely wouldn't be aggressive with either of them. I think it's between the two of them. I wouldn't really want to get into that fight. And considering the pace they have shown, I don't think they will be in those situations unless there is an untimely pit stop or they come out in traffic after pitting once. Mayank is on an out lap, so let's see if he can make the second run count. Spectating Suraj right now, and once again let's go on board with him as he goes through that final corner, this penultimate corner rather. This time
no, he's taken
does
it well
not.
this time.
Yeah, I mean
The reduction of downforce on these cars helps him.
And there you
combat this
go.
one. And
He
he's
goes
doing the job for his
fastest.
teammate right now.
Look at that.
Now Yash Gosalia
36.1.
has to do a lap on softs to get pole because he very well knows that it will be a hold-up strategy from the Aston Martin boys if they manage to surround him on the grid.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Takura,
and
meanwhile, is trying to join. I
have
just
already
watched the
sent him
comments.
like a lot of invites.
Yeah, so he's trying to join, but for some reason he's not able to. Let's
Yeah,
see what
it's
Mayank is up to.
Codemasters,
Mayank will start his lap just about now, so we'll keep an eye out on him. Let's try to find someone else. Sid Venkatesh has popped up in P3 on 2-lap old soft tires, so that will not be something which he would want to start the race on those tires. How many tires do you reckon? How many laps do you reckon we fix the soft tires would last if they have done qualifying lap?
It depends on where you qualify as well, because you could qualify first and control the pace, or you could qualify right in the middle, and that definitely has a harmful impact on the survivability rate of your tires. But I think anyone should be able to do at least 7 laps. Because the game says 5, but like let's be honest, most of the people like the game is being very generous there. You can do more than 5 very easily. Sid Venkatesh almost hit the pit bollard. That is another thing to watch out for. Is this pit entry is a bit tricky.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, it is a bit tricky, and you have to be very cautious not to understeer. But if you do, I think that's your race over right there and then.
But this
Ace
time
is having.
I don't see purples from Mayank, but maybe he was saving the tires and brakes to have more control in this last sector. That you do have to start sacrificing some lap time on this track in those middle sectors, especially if you have a car set up in the way that Mayank has to attack those first 2 sectors. Just to make sure you get the lap done very, very close to that wall. That is the Mercedes AMG Petronas Formula 1 team wall right there. But what does he set? He goes 35.9.
35.9. So it's an Aston Martin front row right now with 3 minutes to go. Yes, Kusala still in the pits. Let's see if he'll come out. I think he will. He doesn't want.
Has he committed to it? Because if he
He
doesn't go
might
out
have. He
around
might
the next.
have.
Oh no,
but-
he is going out right now. As you can see, movement in the garage. mechanics
Yes, he is going
are
out as his
ready.
teammate Redstone Dup is also out on track, and he's on an out lap himself. But Yash Kusala will be coming out, so we will see a last lap from him Is Abhi on a lap? I think he is,
I
and
think
has
Abhi
just
is
started
doing
one.
the race run. Is doing the race run strat. I don't know who's popularized this negative qualifying.
I wonder who,
But yeah,
but
I wonder who.
yeah, Ace has just started his lap, so maybe he can be somewhere on those mediums. Let's see what kind of lap time he does. So this is the end of quali, I think, for Mayank. I think this is all he has to offer, unless he's going for another run. We'll know soon enough as he crosses second sector split. No, it's 4 seconds down on his time, so that's definitely his one on a
I
lap.
think he's. Wait, if is this his in lap or his out lap? Because if
No,
it's
this is his in lap. This is his in lap for
then he
Mayank.
doesn't have. That's it for him.
Yeah, that's it
He
for
will
him.
not have enough time to set another lap, and he's going to have to hope now that Suraj. I don't know how Aston Martin have worked this again to where the guy in the championship fight isn't even doing the last run in qualifying. But okay, yeah.
See, I think Mayank is fine. I mean, he has, even if he starts P3
Yeah, but
or at worst case P4. I don't think there are a lot of. I think Redstone might be one of the challenges for front row.
It's such a bit unusual to me, isn't it? Like.
It is. It is. The timing of his lap from Mayank was a bit strange. He could have waited a couple
Maybe
of
he
more
just wanted
minutes.
a clean track, but there's so much track evolution gonna happen now because it is definitely now the floodlights are on. They weren't even on when he was doing his lap.
Yeah. Currently spectating Redstone Dub, who is in P6 right now, and he's down on his
So
time.
how much can he help his team? Oh, but he does. If he's backed off of this lap, then he can set another one. So I think that is what he's going to do. In terms of pole contenders, the top four are all near about to start the lap, second, third, and fourth. It's on track right now. It's Sid Venkatesh, Yash Gosalia, and Suraj in terms of who's going to set the lap times first.
Yeah, Sid
And Sid
Venkatesh has
Venkatesh
just
tens
started
down.
down. Let's see what Yash Gosalia
Almost
can
two
do.
tenths down.
And Yash Gosalia through the first sector split. Is he up on his time? He's up by
Yes, he
2
is
and a
2 tenths
quarter
up,
tenths.
But he needs to keep it clean. He needs to not invalidate this lap, and there'll be a lot of pressure now on Suraj to make sure that he can keep this Aston Martin monopoly here right now. But Redstone Dub is on his lap as well, so if Mercedes can outfox the Astons, maybe. I don't know what Suraj's first sector time was or is going to be. I'm comparing him and Redstone Dub right
So
now.
Suraj has just started his lap. He's through the first corner. Sid is down on his time yet again. Let's see what Yash
I think
Gosalia's
he's out of
gain.
it for now.
Yeah, let's see what Yash Gosalia's gain is in sector 2. It's
Is
four
it
and a
4
half
tenths
tenths.
up?
Wow, he's on course for a pole here, Yash. And he
Let's
wants.
see invalidate Suraj tricky sector, and Suraj was down on his time, and he's been held up, I think, by the decent car of Indy Gamer.
Oh, that's very, very unfortunate for Suraj. As Yash Gosalia now through the hotel section, and he seems to be on course for a pole position here. If he can keep it within the track limits, as he has just 2 more corners to go, and just about making it within the track
Taking
limits.
it
And
very easy through this last sector as well. He's definitely. There's some point. I think this should be pulled comfortably. Yes, he does get it. 35.6. What can Suraj do? He's 2 tenths up on his lap time. Will he back out of it now? Because there's really no threat. I think Redstone Dub has backed off of his lap. Is he going to back out to give his teammate the favorable position?
yeah, that's what we'll get to see. Maybe it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's still the 2 Aston Martins, and maybe Suraj can help out Mayank later in the race rather than in qualifying right now, as he once again goes very, very close to the wall. And once again, goes to the...
no, come on, man. Come
You know
on.
what?
It
We have
was
made
like-
such a thing out of it that every time he goes to that corner, he would have a hand on heart and across the line of Suraj, and
really?
he's up on his time, but not enough to displace his teammate from the front
Sid
row.
Kulkarni, who has a big moment there, and I think you were correct. That crash earlier did, and vintage player out of nowhere, pips Sid Venkatesh's time 18 thousandths to start P4.
Yeah, and
Good
Anton
job.
Hyper up
And
in
that-
P10, and Indie Gamer also improved, I think. So
But
that's the
that's
end
what
of...
we love to see, isn't it? The top 2 in the top 2.
Yeah, where have I seen that before? In Abu Dhabi. I
And
wonder.
remember, it's all going Mayank's way right now. If this ends like this, he is champion of the world of IRL.
Yeah, he just needs P3 in this race. Even if Yash Kosalia wins with the fastest lap, and Mayank will have the championship if he finishes P3
Very
or
close lead
higher.
spread from first to 11th. Even Abhi, because he was on medium, so that's not a representative lap. Very close field spread. Just 1.4 seconds for a
Yeah,
track like this.
yeah, on a track like this, which is technical in nature, at least the first and the third sector, and it's a long lap time as well. So that's the grid for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And please stick around. We'll have the formation lap starting pretty soon, and after that, we will have a 27.
Lap
I want to
race.
say
It's
28
an 8 lap.
laps
It's an 28
until the
lap.
checkered flag, and we will crown the champion tonight for constructors and drivers
Hopefully, we won't see
championship.
any safety car shenanigans at the end.
Hopefully.
Any does not. Any does
No
not
Williams
mean all
crashing
does
out
not
in
mean
sector
that.
3, please.
Yes.
Please.
Any does not mean all does not mean that in this game yet. So
Yeah, it means none. In this game, it means none. No lap cars are out to
Yes.
overtake the safety car.
which
They
I
have
think
to remain.
might actually the rules might have reverse default to a point where that might actually be the better ruling than what it was in real life.
But honestly, I think Codemasters, I hope they sort this out next time around when they
I
release
don't
the game.
think they will, Malo, because this has been a thing since
I mean,
safety car
because the
was
thing is,
introduced.
once you are lapped, your race is over. Irrespective of how many safety cars are deployed, your race is just over once you lap. It's very rarely I see someone.
Yeah, I mean, they should have
Actually
raised
coming
this
back from
concern
a
on the F1 2016 forums.
Right, for people who did not get that, that's fine. We have a race to commentate on, and Utkarsh and Shah have. I'm not sure what Nova is asking where.
Racing Group 08 is saying that he needs to wash his eyes because Suresh did not do what he expected.
Right, so formation lap underway. We'll have the tire choices in front of you very soon, and you can see everyone in the top 10 on those softs. And Anton Hypers, Hershey, and Easy Level Bot
So,
in the bottom 6.
Abhi,
on the
who did
mediums.
qualifying on mediums, to be outside the top 10 is now starting on softs, which is
Yeah,
either a 4D chess move or something's happened.
I hope it's a glitch because I don't get it. I expected him to start on the mediums.
No,
I know
he's on softs. He's definitely on
yeah,
softs.
I know
so
that. I can see that.
Maybe he
Ex-
just doesn't. Maybe he just wants to make up places early and was just waiting for carnage to ensue in
Then
the first few
then
turns.
why would he not go on softs and collie?
It's a motor race, Malav. As Shah points out.
Yeah, we
We
will
went
go
car
car racing in about a minute.
Haas and Alfa Romeo at the back with a McLaren. And if 2 weeks ago I told you that two of these cars are not in their correct place as it pertains to the real life grid.
I would
Yeah.
have said McLaren, but now I don't know anymore. Either ways, predictions time for people who are watching. We have 17 people, so very good turnout for the season finale. And for people who are watching and for VFXU, who do you think is going to finish in the top 3? We'll love to get your predictions in the comment section. But VFX will start with you.
Ooh, I think I'm going Yash Mayank vintage. I think Suraj will try and do his utmost to sacrifice his race to help Mayank, and that might cost him a podium at the end. And we know vintage, what pace he has. He's a better race. He's a racer, not a qualifier. He's like the Sergio Perez so far of IRL. That's a shout out for Shadow Sword right there. Oh my God! Indy game was spun on the formation lap. Oh no.
Thank God we don't have damage on the formation lap. That's not something which has been coded into the game yet. As
That's
we
not
now,
right.
That's
That's
not
not
right.
right.
We're gonna have so many references to the real life race tonight. It will be hard to keep a track on that. But anyways, we are in the final sector, and you can look at the pace at which Gastio Salia is leading them.
Yeah, I think he just realized
the-
that Indy gets spun.
Yeah.
Oh, and easy level spun. What
easy.
is happening?
And Indy Gamer and Redstone both have been disqualified.
Oh
so-
my God!
and Redstone has been
What's
disqualified as well. Oh,
What's
that's
happening?
a
What's
mayhem.
happening?
And
happening?
wow, that's a lot of DSQs. But either
Championship
way,
rivals to crash out Suraj for the win. Then he comes out of retirement. Nova West. I'm not
Well,
sure you can come out of retirement.
yeah,
when
he's
you
not
haven't retired
entered
yet.
retirement yet. Exactly. That is some weird fantasy Noah
That is
has.
a Massa 2016 situation with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna go to that corner today and inaugurate it, and then he just comes back next season like nothing happened. He's gonna go to Suraj corner after this race and just stand there, but then he comes back next season like nothing's happened.
Right, so the grid is set for everyone, and I think We should
Thankfully,
be
Codys have
getting.
given us a good camera angle from the get-go this time.
Well, not me, but I think we'll get that once the lights start appearing on the grid. As there you go, the 5 lights are coming on, and for the final time this season, it's lights out and we're underway. It's a great start from Mayank, but behind him, Vintage Player. Look at that, he could lead into turn one. Vintage Player down the inside of Yash Gosalia, and Vintage Player does take the lead.
Contact. Oh, there is contact.
There is
Oh,
contact.
Yash did try and protect it. Vintage, absolute rocket of the start.
What a start from Vintage Player. Mayank still holding on into P3.
Yash Gosalia trying to go for the move, but as Vintage, I like that from Vintage actually, because he very well knew that if Yash Gosalia tried to do it, it's championship over from the beginning itself.
Absolutely. So it's a decent start from Mayank. He has kept his P3, but kept his P3. He's lost 1 position. But look at Suraj down from P3 until P8. So he lost 5 positions. But what a brilliant start from Vintage Player. From P4 to P1 has gained 3 places in the first corner
That is one
itself.
of the shortest runs to turn one on the entire calendar as well. And to do it there, and meanwhile for easy level bot, maybe spinning was part of his plan because he's now 9.
Well, Thakur, you're joined now, but
yeah, I feel like that's
that won't help you
yeah,
at all. Either ways, Sid Kulkarni and Ace are battling for positions, and one of them is ghosted. That is Ace, and Sid Kulkarni finally making his way
Mayank
past.
goes a bit wide. Ooh,
yeah. Yes,
that
Mayank
was
does
a bit
go.
Scary there. He needs to keep the car on track to finish first. First, you have to finish. And hopefully he carries that. But look at this through sector 3. No matter how much fast you or how quick you are, look at how much time he's lost. Yash Gosalia to Vintage.
Yes, 7 tenths is the gap between Vintage and Yash Gosalia, and looks like both Yash and Mayank are now in a mode where they just want to finish the race and they don't want to take any unnecessary risk.
Oh, that's what's happened here. At the back. Oh, Deadly Mosquito is around. He tries to do a 360 spin, just fails by around 90 degrees.
Is he coming back in the pits? Yes, he is. Up ahead, the gap is 1 second between the top 2 and the P2 and P3. As Ace is trying to hang.
And one thing that will come into coordinates, that will come into priority here is seeing that spin reminds me. If you cook your tires here, you basically have to pit, no matter how fresh your tires were. Because you're not going to get the temperature down without driving excessively slow. So you cannot make mistakes.
Right, here goes Redstone Dub. Is he going to challenge Sid Venkatesh into the braking zone? No is the answer. But on the traction, let's say between the two chicanes, between the two straights, rather the chicane separating them.
Suraj is so close now. It's a 3-car battle, 4-car battle, basically.
And here goes Suraj deploying all of his battery. He will choose the outside line. And can he make an overtake work? It's round the outside, but he has made it work.
Redstone Dubs had to cut the track in order to not crash into Suraj there. That was. And meanwhile, the top 3 have started spreading out. I think these guys have more pace than Sid Kulkarni right now and could probably keep up with the top 3, but the overtake needs to come fast if they're going to do that.
Sid Kulkarni, after overtaking Ace, has not really been able to pull away, so he is struggling. And now the DRS will be enabled as well, so we might see some overtakes on the next lap.
I hope we see some overtakes on this track. And meanwhile, Easy Level Boss in a good position right now because he's on those mediums and he is P9 right now. And why are Codys doing this thing where they just mess up the
Vintage!
Vintage! Oh, he's had a moment! I think.
He has, and he's lost the lead.
He does not have a front wing. He does not have a front wing. Oh my
God!
That is such a save there.
Keep it together, Mayank. His tires are overcooked, and we have to stay with this battle. But Mayank might get overtaken by Sid Kulkarni and Ace here. This is going to be very, very hell. Look at that 5-car battle, and Sid Kulkarni is on the back of Mayank, and Ace is trying to go there as well. Let's see what Sid Venkatesh. I think he will back out of this one.
Nobody wants to overtake on this point of the track because whoever's first now is getting 7 card.
Wow.
The next section.
So Mayank has just lost.
What's happened to Suraj? Suraj is round. The McLaren off track. Everything kicking off. And meanwhile, Sid Kulkarni is somehow up to 2nd place. He must have gotten an insane exit.
Wow, so Sid Kulkarni up
Oh,
into P2
how
and all
quickly
that.
it turned around. Look at this fighting going on in the mid pack.
I
I
think
mean, the
Vintage
mid
just
pack, I say
let
everyone except for Gosalia.
Yeah, I think Vintage just let Mayank through. So Mayank is back into P3, and the gap which Yash Gosalia has,
Oh, and
look
now
at that.
Vintage definitely has damage. I do. If Mayank manages to win this title now, that we'll have to credit him for that. What a save!
Yeah, Vintage is clearly keeping off the racing line. He's making his way back into the pits as we speak. And there you go, the first pit stop, a pre-match pit stop for Vintage. Yash Gosalia leads from Sid Kulkarni, who is in P2, 4.3
What tire
seconds
is
is the
Vintage gonna
gap.
go on? He's really
And
gonna be calling the strategy now. It's not a lost cause since he's gonna
Nick
be so
Gamer,
much faster than everyone else now
yeah,
on his fresher tires. Indie Gamer, he's just driving very slowly, and I think he's desync because I can't even go to broadcast camera with him. Um,
right, let's see what Easy Level Bot can do here. He is just half a second behind Manan, and those soft tires now, I'm not sure VFix if they are theoretically faster than the mediums. Easy Level Bot on a charge here, and let's see what kind of defense Manan has.
I don't think he's gonna have much of a defense, and I don't think he'll want to defend too much either because there's a little swap of DRS gonna happen now. Man, Mayank, he's recovered now and he's once again on the back of Sid Kulkarni. You know, he just has to do enough. He doesn't have to win the race. He just has to do enough to not lose the 10-point gap.
There he goes down the inside. Is he going for it? No, he stays behind for now. Easy Level Bot on the
Easy
back
Level
of
Bot has
Mayank once
passed
again.
Manan
And Suraj tries to hang it
Suraj
down
says,
the
"Look at
inside.
Oh, there's a bit of Aji, but they all come out of it. Ooh, that is very, very,
And
very
these
close.
two
And
have
Suraj
had a
and
few
Manan-
moments this season, Suraj and Manan, but Suraj does come out ahead this time around in P7.
Oh, Anton have his respawn. Oh, that's not ideal.
Right, coming back to this battle, is
Look at
ghosted
how much
for
faster
winning.
Mayank is than Sid Kulkarni right now. He's literally pushing him along in sector 3 as well. So this leads me to believe that Sid Kulkarni has damage because there's no way anyone would be that slow through that section. And
Yeah, so
he's
next time
lost
he
2
pits,
seconds as
yeah,
well.
next time he pits, please keep an eye out on his pit stop. Maybe there's a wing change coming up for the Williams pit crew. And Mayank, I think he's just saving his battery right now. He doesn't have a lot to play with anyway. But on the backstretch, it should be an easy pass. And he will get into the second place for the race. Pit stop time, I think in a couple of laps, drivers will be thinking of pit stops, I believe. Unless they want to go and extend their first stint and then have an easy run on the
Alright,
mediums.
let's see what Mayank does now.
He's using a lot of his battery to get ahead, and he will without much
But
difficulty
will
as
he be able to
Mayank.
keep the position off of this next section? Look at how wide easy level bot is, not trying to in the background, trying not to give them the slipstream, trying to break the toe. So it's as we were. Ignore Indie Gamer being in first. That's just him desync. And
That's
look
a
at this.
bit of a
Mayank is pulling
weaving,
out
yeah.
all of the. He's pulling out all of the Max Verstappen, and he cannot do anything right now. And I think it'd be wise just to not try and force the issue here right now. He's still winning the title. As
So
it
maybe
stands.
it was not the best of the moves or smartest of the moves to go for an overtake in the first DRS zone. But
You
either
can
way,
see his
he
light
is.
is blinking as well, and whenever someone's light is blinking as a fellow driver, you really start to think it's time now. Especially when you have
And
a
look at the
considerable
gap,
amount
Yash
of DRS.
Gosalia. 7.5 seconds is the gap. He's just flown away into the distance.
Will he have to do?
And he pits.
If you remember to
Mayank pits.
Oh, nah, he's trying to undercut these guys right now. So his race is definitely for second. Do you think Yash Gosalia will have to do the Lewis Hamilton from 2016 strat towards the end?
I I really don't want to comment on that, but easy level bot is on the back of Suraj now, and Suraj on those soft tires might just
And I
start
think
to struggle.
by this point, I think definitely the yellow tire is the one to be on. And considering Mayank's pit for mediums, I think he's going on a 2-stop. It's very difficult to run 22 laps with the tire he has right now.
Right, and he is out in P12 and has a sizable gap to enter on Hyper, so he has some clean air to run. And here goes Ace on Sid Venkatesh.
Venkatesh.
Ace has made it through, and easy level bot still hanging behind Suraj, but I think on this back straight is when it might happen. Ace is making another overtake on Sid Kulkarni and Sid Venkatesh follows through.
Yeah, and I definitely think now Sid Kulkarni should pit if he hopes to keep that. And look at that, I think he Oh, Sid Venkatesh is spun!
Oh, I just saw that.
No. Hopefully it's not a virtual safety car, otherwise Mayank is gonna get massively disadvantaged.
But look at that amount of positions Sid Venkatesh has lost, and he might lose another one to Abdul Samad. Abdul Samad trying to go round the outside.
He's got nothing to fight with here, Sid. His tires are not only overheated, but they have all the dirt on them right now.
It must be difficult on traction as well, as Abdul Samad is following him closely through the third sector.
That was close to the pit line. That was close to the pit limiter line. No, Sid Kulkarni, it looked like he cut it there a bit. Oh, I don't know.
Right, so Sid is back in the pits. He'll have a tire change. Sid Kulkarni is in the pits as well. I want to see if Sid Kulkarni has a wing change.
3 seconds on Anton Hypers on this lap, so...
Well, no wing change for Sid Kulkarni, so Mayank is making real inroads on Anton Hypers, and he puts the fastest third sector. Yeah,
I think his middle and last sector are both purple, and then Vintage Player sets the fastest lap, so definitely the tire to be on now are those mediums. And look at how far ahead Mayank is. He's not just ahead, he's ahead by a mile.
Absolutely. Watching easy level bot right now, once again trying to get past Suraj, but it's proving a little bit of a difficult task. Let's see again on the second back straight.
Here, try and get that discipline. I've seen him do this now a couple of times in this race, but now the tires just might be a bit not have the grip to
but Suraj does get good traction out of that chicane, and that's why he will
have to rethink the strategy, the entire strategy that goes into this overtake. Suraj equals Bottas.
Well, I think that's the start. Sid Venkatesh and Redstone Dub are battling, and Redstone Dub has just about made it through, and I think being on the hard tires, he can go long, but I'm not sure how competitive he'll be. Here comes back. Here is Sid Venkatesh back on Redstone Dub, and it will be a move for the Ferrari on the Mercedes. Sid Venkatesh, after spinning, he pitted on the mediums and is in P12.
Do you think it's a risky move from Mayank here to go on mediums? He's committing to a two-stop now, basically. And if the one-stop does prove to be correct, he's gonna have to do a lot of overtaking at the end to get back. And he was already in the position that he needed to be. He was third.
I think he just wanted to have some clean air. I think that's the only explanation I have. And probably banking on a safety car. We've seen safety cars being deployed on I think every race except for a couple. So let's see. Here goes easy level bot once again. I think this time he might be close to pull off an overtake in the second DRS zone, probably not the first one, as he is once again on the back of Suraj, this time gaining by a rate of knots, and he might be going for a move, but no, he backs out of it.
It almost looks like he doesn't
he didn't want to he didn't want to go for a move there.
He's even trying, but he doesn't get the
traction. Who is that? Someone has spun. That's a Williams, I think. Is that Indy Gamer? I think it's Indy Gamer.
Yeah, I think, because he just come into a ghosted state. So I think it is Indy Gamer.
Yeah, Indy Gamer.
There's no one near where the yellow flag, so I think that's just the game calling a yellow flag because it's the game.
Oh, it's Suraj going wide, and that is easy level bot taking advantage of that.
Can they go side by side through here, or will it be a Rosberg Karthikeyan?
Oh, Suraj! No!
He's kept the engine running, so that will not be a safety car.
Will that be a VSC? There's a lot of debris on the track. Yash Kosalia finally in the pits. I'm assuming for a set of mediums. Mayank is on the back of Anton Hypers in no time, and he will have to save his battery now because
Yash Kosalia has pit pretty
on mediums.
He goes on mediums because he doesn't really need. He's so far ahead. Strategy is basically a convenience to him right now. It's a luxury.
Absolutely, can choose what he wants, like he chooses apples from a supermarket. And Mayank on the back of Anton Hypers once again, and he'll have to wait for one full sector. We'll ride on board with him and see how he plans this overtake. But it is race critical for him, as Rosberg's engineer told him, to make this move as soon as possible.
I think that is a very, very well. We have avoided a very awkward moment in the Aston Martin team chat. If Suraj had crashed and caused the safety car because Kosalia had gone in on that very lap itself. Luckily, the car did not DNF.
Here goes Mayank once again, choosing to overtake in that first DRS zone. I hope this does not come back to haunt him. He's using a lot of battery to get past the Red Bull. He has eventually done so, but he has to get a very good position. Anton High passes almost. There was a half spin. There was a half spin for Mayank, but he has just held it through.
I think now he's gained enough of it.
Yeah, and it's got a good traction out of that corner as well.
Watch easy level bot. Watch easy level bot in regards to Mayank. Because I'm pretty sure easy level bot's on this one stop. And Mayank's on a two stop. Meanwhile, Anton is going back and Mayank is not see what he wants.
It's just deja vu. It's just deja vu. Why does Mayank not wait?
And this is the peril of stopping so early in the race.
You'll have to do it all towards the end. I think a little bit of patience would help here from Mayank. I say as if I'm an expert in racing. How much more braking
confidence he has compared to the other guy. And it gets scary here through these sections as well. If you have that much of a braking advantage. Meanwhile, Yash Kosaria is going to come up to Manan in a few laps. So these guys are definitely all on one stops. The top four right now. So we will need to watch these guys, how they do to Mayank. Because they're not stopping, they're only stopping once, and so is Mayank. So this gap that you see right now is the gap we will need to make up later on.
Absolutely. Let's see what Mayank does this time around. Does he go for a move once again on the first DRS straight, or does he wait and just lets the Red Bull of Anton Hypers tag him along for a few more meters and then make a definitive move? Let's see what he does. He's very close.
Kulkarni is catching up because of all of this.
Yes, and look at Yash Gosalia catching up to Manan. This could be an overtake, which could happen right about now. Yash Gosalia on the back of Manan, and Yash Gosalia has made it through just about.
No.
Mayank trying to hang it round the outside, and Mayank has spun. Just tried to poke his nose where probably didn't belong, and at the same time, look at Mayank.
Meanwhile, now Sid Kulkarni is gonna have a run, and he will see the light flashing off Mayank. You see that Mayank's side is flashing as they go onto the straight. That is not what you want at all. Sid Kulkarni just blitzes past. Three-way battle into. Oh! Heart in the mouth moment there as Mayank and Anton Hypers hit each other's tires before the braking.
Wow.
That was scary.
That was very scary. And in that, Mayank has gifted Sid Kulkarni a place. And Yash Gosalia now on the back of Hershey. That's his next target. So both Red Bulls proving to be a little bit of a headache. More so for Mayank, but Hershey moves out of the way.
So I think Ace can easily go on that one stop now.
Yeah, Ace definitely on a one stop.
Will Yash Gosalia be able to do a one stop? That's the question. Also, the tire life is a bit glitched. I don't know why it's showing that Yash Gosalia has done one lap on his mediums now. He's done like 4 of them already. So
that's definitely a glitch. Alright, so Mayank should be in P4 net. Yes, he is. Well, make that P3 because...
No, he is net P4 because easy level bot is only doing a one stop.
Right, so he will be net P4, you're right. And you know what? That is not enough. If Yash Gosalia gets the fastest lap of the race, getting P4 for Mayank will not be enough.
This will be race critical, as you said, Malav. And as Rosberg's engineer said in 2016.
And look at Anton Hypers trying to come back at him. 7/10 is the gap, and he will have DRS. Oh, please don't tell me he has damage. That would not be a good sign.
He's lost so much time all of a sudden to Sid Kulkarni, and now Anton Hypers is so close to him. Either that or he's driving the 2022 Aston Martin and not the Equal Cars 2021 version. So
I don't see any damage on his... I mean, it's not apparent on his car, on the front wing at least. And I hope...
it might be the damage that you do, even Jeff doesn't tell you about, but then you get your wing change.
Yeah, you get your wing change the next stop. Meanwhile, Hershey is on a battle with Abhi, and Hershey is going to go around the outside of Hershey towards the right, and this time will probably cover off. But no need to do that as he makes the move up into P9.
Alright, Yash Gosalia now closing up to easy level bot, and if he's doing a 2-stop, then he'll have to make this overtake again later on in the race.
I think at this point, Yash Gosalia can afford a 2-stop because he is a pit stop. Oh, look at that! Easy level bot just moves out of the way and lets him through.
I think this might be the same party chat mentality right there. Were they teammates last season?
I'm not sure. Maybe. Was easy level bot in the Mercedes?
Yes, they were teammates last season. So that's a bit of courtesy being handed out there.
Right, and look at the gap he has pulled out already. 1.5 seconds, make that almost 2 seconds. As Hershey is trying to make further inroads, this time trying to catch up to the Ferrari of Sid
I think that
Venkatesh.
party chat needs you at this point. They're not doing enough right now. They need you. You need to join that party chat to guide
And
these guys.
look at Mayank losing more time to Sid Kulkarni. I think you are right, Vifix. You know what? He might have damage here, which is why he's just not been able to catch up to Sid Kulkarni. And this is not good for Mayank, because if he indeed has damage and if there's a wing change scheduled for the next pit stop, that's a further 5 seconds.
Yeah.
On
At this point where Suraj is, he will just have to cover off that fastest lap attempt from Yash Kosalia. I see no other way right now for Mayank to steal this championship. Because Kosalia has all the advantage and he can pit and still win the race. What was that? Indie Gamer trying to overtake easy level bot. I don't know how Indie Gamer ended up in third in all of this. Is he actually third? I don't know.
It's P15 on my screen. Mayank.
Yeah, I don't know why he was trying to battle him to that corner. It was getting lapped.
Right, Yash Kosalia setting the fastest lap of the race.
Now that makes Yash Kosalia the champion as of now. If the race were to end right now.
Yeah.
So as I said, it will have to come down to Suraj doing a fastest lap.
And Hershey getting a 3
gets a 3 second. That is the first one.
Yeah, it's surprising.
And we
almost
haven't
half
seen a
race
safety car yet,
distance.
or a virtual safety car.
Yeah, I think now that you say it, we might just have one right now. And
That is the
Anton
only
Hypers
hope
once
that
again,
Mayank has.
once again
Right
within
now.
that 1 second window. And I think every time he does that, it kind of forces Mayank to use his battery on the back straight, and he's just not able to conserve his battery. I don't
And
want to
remember,
really
it's not gonna get better from Mayank because there's so many guys here at the back who are not pitting again, and he has to.
Yeah, Thakur was just saying Mayank has damage, so seems like he is suffering from damage, and it definitely looks like that in terms of his car performance. So he will have to probably change his wing at the next pit stop. And do you think he should pit now, VFix, and just get rid of that damage and go for?
What's happened? No,
just
that's
Indic
game.
once again?
No,
Yeah,
no,
no, it's not random. It's Indic Gamer. It's Indic in my screen. It's Indic just losing it out of turn 2.
Why is this yellow flag out in sector 1 when he's spinning in sector 2?
No, for me it was in sector 1. Indic was in sector 1.
For
But
me,
either
he's
way,
battling Suraj right now.
either way. So my question to you, VFix, is what would you do in this situation if you were Mayank? Would you pit for mediums? Would you pit for mediums and just take that 5 second penalty of sorts and get your wing changed?
There's nothing much you can do really right now. Just have to.
Oh, Anton Hypers is in the pits.
Pulled the pin.
Yeah,
and
he
that
has.
is all the advantage. And he doesn't have to pit again. And he's already overtaken.
Oh, Ace is retired! Oh, Ace has crashed!
No,
And it is a safety car!
But
That has just saved Mayank
pit.
there. He can just.
But he could have pit. And now.
Yeah, he could have
gonna
pit
be
this lap.
He's gonna. Yash Kusal is gonna need someone to overtake Mayank because Suraj can just easily now do the fastest lap at the last lap of the race if Mayank isn't winning mathematically on points.
Wow. I told you, VFX, that you have just jinxed it by saying that there's been no safety car.
Meanwhile, easy level,
And
but let us give kudos
lo and behold.
where kudos are due. Because he's gutted this one stop out. And now, I mean, he will have to go on hard, so that's the only disadvantage for him.
Do you think he will do the zone strat and go on softs and then pit on mediums again?
No, but then he's got.
No, I mean within the safety car period. I'm saying, yeah, he'll be into the back of the grid. But
Which is
do you
basically
think?
the same as not doing the strategy at all. So I don't think
Oh,
he can afford it. Sid could
drive
Oh
through.
my God, the dominoes are falling.
Sid has a drive through, and that again saves Mayank to some extent, to a large extent. Because Sid was a driver who was pulling away from Mayank. But let's see what Yash Gosalia does.
I must reassure the audience, Michael Massey is not calling this. With the amount of turns that have happened so far, it is not him.
Alright, so Yash Gosalia is in. Easy level bot. I expect him to be in the pits as well.
Oh my God, what is happening with Indic Gamer's car? I don't think the others even register it as contact because I've just seen easy level bot just punt him straight on to the back.
Alright, so Sid Kulkarni is in as well. And Mayank.
Don't cut it! Oh no. Talk about getting a silver bullet
Sid
and then rebounding
Venkatesh.
it onto yourself.
Look at that. I
Oh
think Hershey
no.
has stayed out. Sid Venkatesh
Oh,
is
Israel
in.
was gonna softs. Oh, so he's not gonna risk going on hard. He's gonna try and gut it till the end. That is a very risky strategy, but it could pay off. And I mean, as long as no one reports it, Mayank is safe. But I feel like that
Yeah, if you keep talking about it,
yeah.
someone will.
Yeah. The more I mention it,
He's-
really, the more likely it is to the fact that he cut the pit lane entry. Like, I probably should stop talking about the fact he cut it, but you know what can I do? He did cut that thing. So
Israel bought out on softs in P2, and there is absolutely no way he can stretch those to the end. I remember.
you never know, Malav. This is
I was coming to that. I don't know if you remember this. This is season 3, where Nishan was reserving, I think, and it was. He went on to the softs, and I never thought he would make it to the end, but he did. Yes, he did. He had a sprint somewhere in sector 3, but I was so surprised to.
and he was like 5 seconds off the pace by the end, but he didn't make it to the end.
No, I don't think he was. He was pretty okay. He was battling the likes of Arjun or Vishra, who were on better tires for sure. So you never know. Someone might throw up a surprise. Restaurant Derp has also pitted. So everyone is on mediums right now except Easy Level
Oh my
Bot.
god, this is giving me a headache now to calculate the championship. Why is it?
I'm not
turning
even. I'm
into
not
this?
even touching my Excel right now. I think we'll do that later. As PSI says, hello Sai. Hope you are racing tomorrow, and you will
Yes,
help
because-
VFix to clinch that constructor's title as well, along
Yeah,
with.
like, he'll definitely help me take out shadows. Win in constructors in a fair and square manner.
Right.
I-
So
Safety car not in this lap?
I don't think so.
No,
It
the
might
field
go
is
on for one
Oh,
more
but
lap.
Deadly Mosquito is on the.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
Indie Gamer and Deadly Mosquito who are far
No,
way
the
back.
Indie Gamer is just decent. Deadly Mosquito is actually on the backstage right now. Oh, meanwhile, there's a Haas there going for some. Oh, so no, he is doing the zoom. No, he's not. I thought for a second Easydol was gonna dive into the pits there. He did not. And for Mayank, a man who had been so consistent, it all seems to be unraveling a bit right now. The way it's gone, it definitely could have gone better. But the fact he hasn't DNF'd yet, considering what he's been put up with, it's definitely a plus point.
Absolutely. Utkarsh, it is not Netflix, okay? We cannot fast forward the safety car period. I'm sorry.
I just like everyone to see my
You
POV
will,
because
you will
in
have
on
to
my
labor
POV,
through this.
Yeah.
Uh,
XLRI. You have to. You can't. We can't propane the
yeah.
start of the safety car.
Yeah,
On my
we-
screen, Easy Level Body is doing some unspeakable things that should never be seen by an audience of
What is he
less
up to?
than 50 years of age to. I think that was Indie Gamer. Yeah, that was Indie Gamer's decent car. And now Deadly Mosquito is on the advantage here. He has completely rubbered up tires compared to everyone else.
Yeah, he would by
When
the
he
end of
jumps
the
the back
lap.
of the back.
And I hope safety car is in this lap, so we'll get 12 laps of racing. Sid Kulkarni, remember, has a drive-through. Hershey has not pitted, and let's see if he can make it to the end. I'm not sure he will be able to. Abdul Samad is also on used mediums. Mayank down in P8. So lot of battles
But
coming up.
Malav, I hope the winners decided on track and not in a stewards discussion later on. I don't want the winner to be decided via stewards report. It's a motor race. We went
Yeah.
motor racing. The winner should be decided at the checkered flag.
Or we can just
Maybe that's-
restate results from the last race, and just nullify this race. But either ways, let's see if the race control finally decides to bring the safety car in. There's no message on the screen right now, which tells me it might go for one more lap, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, because Deadly Mosquito still hasn't caught up.
And he will. It would be
the
perfect.
last timing line is just about here, so if he gets it,
This is
it's
going
Zonia,
in.
okay, he
It is
just
in.
about
It is
manages
in.
to catch up.
Right, it is in, and that now leaves Yash Gosale as the de facto safety car leader, or the leader of the restart. Let's see what he does. He's bringing them to a halt, and he's gone.
Nicely done there. But did the safety car go in? Yes, it did. Perfectly timed. Perfectly
Yeah,
timed. Just
nicely
left
timed
the soft
and
tire runner of easy level, but in the dust for now. Although I have a feeling that he will come back at him for the first few laps at least. Now
up
let's
ahead.
watch what Mayank can do.
Yeah,
With
Vintage and Abdul
everything
were
going.
battling. Vintage was trying to get past Abdul once again into turn 1. He seems to like that corner particularly, but this time has to stay back in P6. Back. Mayank is on the back of Anton Hypers once again. This is deja vu moment for the championship leader. Once again on the back of Anton Hypers, but this time to Mayank's disadvantage. Anton Hypers is on the same tires as he is, but he goes beautiful traction of the corner up ahead. Vintage and Abdul Samad are also battling, but Mayank
Ooh,
getting a
Anton
distant
was giving him
two.
the dead squeeze right there. Completely fair. It's a car's width. And Mayank will have to, but I think he needs to learn his lesson here. He cannot afford to burn off so much ERS that he has nothing to protect himself with on the second zone.
Here goes Sid Kulkarni on the back of Hershey. Remember, Sid has a drive-through, but he will still try to make up positions. Hershey squeezes him towards the right of the track.
It's not enough road left.
And Sid Kulkarni has to stay behind. Anton Hypers on the back of Abdul Samad. Mayank following close behind. And in all that, Vintage player has made it past Abdul Samad.
Yeah, this is just getting into now near the last 10 laps. I think soon we will be on the last 10 laps, and at that point Abdul Samad's gone wide, and that is a free position for everyone. Oh, what's happened there?
He was trying to let Mayank and Anton Hypers through, and I think there was a collision between Mayank and Abdul.
I don't know what happened to Abdul Samad. I don't know why he just didn't allow. Why did just didn't?
He went very deep into that tricky braking zone. Sid Kulkarni is in the pits for pitting.
Yep.
Yeah, that's drive-through penalty he's serving right now. Easy level bot is finding it difficult to catch up to Yash Kosala. He's still within that 1 second window, but now the
consider
DRS
that this easy level is on softs. So if he has to make an overtake, it has to be now.
It is nowhere close to making an overtake. Someone who is close to making an overtake is Mayank, and this time let's see if he's patient or does he. Yeah, there he goes, right on cue. It's on the drive,
but look at how much more straight line speed Anton Hypers has. This is which slipstream is losing time.
He's hanging behind Mayank for now, and he's pulling out of the slipstream.
You cannot go for a move there. And I think a Red Bull helping a Mercedes win a title, that is not something on the bingo card.
Well, they're holding up the second Mercedes. This time Mayank once again using a lot of battery. Please don't do that, as he cannot dive down the inside and has to stay behind for one more corner.
How much of forward momentum will he have after this? Because already near 3 seconds to vintage player. This is starting to look bleak right now for the Mayank fandom, and Yash Kosalia is pulling time on a guy who has a 2-lap old soft tire. So that just goes to show how much pace he had once he hit the front.
Yeah, that's just insane pace from Yash Kosalia. Mayank.
Look at how close Mayank is.
Very close to the wall.
Luckily, it will be DRS for him this time. Oh, I thought that was him getting that 3 seconds because he did go over the thing.
Yeah, that was close. But it's redstone up. He's got a time penalty. And Utkarsh, to answer your question, as things stand, Yash Kosalia will win the title. Mayank has to get P4 at least, and then hope that Yash Kosalia does not get the fastest lap to win the title. So it is very close right now.
Disappeared up the road, teleported from me on my screen.
That's you having some connection issues. Mayank once again on the back of the Red Bull. He must know the diffuser and everything about the Red Bull so well by now. He's spent so much time behind the Red Bull. But here he goes once again, and once again he does not want to wait. He's gonna fly past Anton Hypers.
But now it's gonna be so crucial what he does at these next 2 corners.
That's a kamikaze dive.
But I think that's gonna give Mayank the DRS actually on the second part.
But look at Sid Venkatesh and all that.
And Anton Hypers is derating already.
Mayank has DRS, he's scored round the outside.
That's so
As they emerge.
Mayank and Anton. Oh my god, Anton Hypers is he's definitely had his porridge for the day. Mayank has to still stick behind.
He's basically being the Checo right now, isn't he, Anton Hypers?
Yes.
Although his teammate is not in fight for a championship, but what a job from him, and it's all fair, you know. He's not Really being
I
unsportsmanlike.
mean, the fairness will be judged later by the stewards. We're just here to watch the racing. Um,
Right. So Mayank still stuck behind. It's all the time. It's allowing the likes of Vintage and Hershey to go away, and maybe allowing
I think
easy
easy level
level
bot.
bot, yeah, to make another pit stop.
He might have just get P2 at this rate because he's not pushing at all. He could just save his tires to the point
Yeah, and
where
if,
he
I'm
just,
not sure if he has. I think he has another set of softs pending. So fresh softs on to go once again towards the end of the race, and he might be within a shot of that P2.
and now here we go round. I can't even say anymore. I think Mayank needs to hang
13,000,
back.
I believe, round 13,000 on lap 20. Here goes Mayank once again. Oh, he's using his, it's so frustrating to watch. He's using his battery once again to get past
We
Anton
all know what's
Ivers.
gonna happen. Kudos to Anton Ivers for running this setup and being able to keep a guy behind.
Yeah,
This time he
both-
covers the inside. And what's a bit confusing is why Mayank just didn't cover the inside like the last two times, and he's been dive bombed on the inside the last three times.
Here goes Anton. Anton has DRS, but I think Mayank has got
And
a
everyone
good
is
traction out of this
derating.
time.
Everyone is
It could be
derating
Sid
now.
Venkatesh for P6 as he goes down the inside. Oh, Anton Ivers!
My God, that
He
was
did not
something
break there,
else. He will have to
Anton.
give those positions, all of them back. because-
He did, and he gave a position to Sid Venkatesh as well, and he spun up around.
Yeah, that was a bit weird because normally if you do go wide, you have to give every position back that you would have lost in the time that it took you to go wide. So, yeah. Oh, he's
Oh, he's
crashed.
in a boat!
Oh my
Is it a
God.
safety car? It is!
Yes,
Oh
it
my
is.
God!
And
Is Mayank
he's on
pitting?
the- Yes, he is. Don't cut the.
This time he has not cut. He's not cut. He's not cut. It's fine. It's fine. He's pitting for softs. Oh my God! What did we just witness here? Oh my
in the
God!
in the words of a popular idol, what have I just seen? What have I just seen?
Right. So Mayank is
Anton
pitting for
Ivers.
fresh softs, and he is coming out where? It is coming out P7.
He will be P8. He will be
P7.
P8. But he basically might as well be in the podium places right now. It's such a big advantage right now for the guys. They're on one mediums versus fresh softs. It's not even the fresh comparison.
But now
anymore.
Yash has his teammate ahead of Mayank. Look at that. That's turned up in P4. Oh, what's happening? Mayank just about overtaking the safety car. Was
Do you
confused
think
for a moment.
Yash can't pit as well? He needs to keep track position.
I don't think he would want to pit because that will give the likes
But
of
he does
vintage
have
player.
enough of a gap to
He
the
does,
point
but
where
then
he
it will
still
give
come out ahead
vintage.
of Mayank.
Yash does need maximum points from this race. So if Yash pits, I don't think vintage player will. Let's see what he does. Let's see what Yash does. He's in the third sector right now.
And he has all the opportunity because everyone's obeying the Delta right now. To pit, he would come out P3 right now. Just ahead of Redstone Dub or just behind Redstone Dub. Depending on if
Well
you were
then-
to pit.
well
I
then
think the
both
smart money
Mercedes-
is on pitting right now.
Yeah, when both Mercedes he's pitting. So Yash is in. Hershey will be in, I think. And vintage player, if he wants to play a spoil sport in this whole party, might choose to stay out. Oh, he cuts.
my
Oh, what?
Oh no! But I don't know why. Who was he trying to dummy here? I have no clue. Rather, all he
stays
did really
out.
was just cost himself like 3 seconds.
He stays out. And yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
that's very
I had a
confusing.
feeling he would
the
stay
only
out.
person-
And he
It
did.
reminds me of the congratulations you just played yourself gift right there.
Right, so Sid Kulkarni stays out as well.
There's a
Redstone
free
Dub-
overtake in here for Yash Kosalia. He came out P3.
Yeah, and Redstone Dub has stayed out, so that would be an easy position for Yash. I'm sure they would not fight it out as well. Hershey's in the pits, and Hershey has jumped Mayank. But Hershey has a 3-second time penalty, remember? So
okay. I'm not going to keep talking about it. Why do you keep making me talk about it, Malav? I don't want to talk about it.
Right. So, alright. So, I think everyone except for Sid Kulkarni, Redstone, and Vintage,
Vintage
and
player is
Abdul.
the only overtake Yash Kosalia really needs to make. I think Redstone will just let him go through.
And I don't think Vintage will have too much to hold on to either. I mean, those softs will be so much faster than the medium. So Yash Gosalia has this race win in the bag, I would like to assume at this point, and I think all remains to be seen is what kind of overtakes can Mayank win, and Hershey is in front of him. Sid Kulkarni, albeit on the mediums and won mediums, but he still is a car to overtake, and Redstone Dub, you can bet he will fight like a lion to keep that position. So it should be an interesting last 5 laps of the race. I don't think the safety car will be in this lap. We'll have to go one more lap in these yellow flag conditions.
I hope when the safety car comes in, no one goes side by side with each other through there and marginally overtakes.
Overtake, and then there is a
yeah.
steward inquiry into that as well. But either ways, it's
I can't call this right now. Who's gonna do?
Well, I think that the scales are still, you know, they are still towards Yash Gosalia right now as we speak. But you never know what might happen on the safety car restart. Cold tires could be a thing, and someone spins out. Multiple things could happen.
It only takes one thing to happen for the entire race to get flipped on its head again.
And remember, Sid Kulkarni, he had a drive-through. He's still P4. Look at this guy. He had a drive-through. I know he didn't pit, and that's why he's in P4. But kudos to him for being in that kind of position. PSL Legends is asking, what position does Mayank need to win the championship?
P4, but there was something to do with the pit lane thing.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Otherwise, yeah, that's one plus. So he needs P4 and hope that Yash does not get the fastest lap to take the championship. But if he gets P3 and does not get any time penalties, which is, I'm not sure if it's likely or not, Mayank will win the championship regardless of where Yash finishes. So a podium for Mayank should seal it. But I think, as Noah said, it is pending towards inquiry. The field has bunched up now, so I'm pretty sure the safety car will be in this lap. So 5 laps is all we have. It's a 5-lapper, as a lot of commentators like to say, to decide this championship. And what a season finale we have had so far. Suraj is still in the game, is in P8 and can do some damage from the back, and right behind him is his best friend in Manan. So that should be an interesting battle to watch as well.
Yeah, it's a battle of ideology right there. But I can't call this right now. Especially on track, you can't call it. Anything could happen still. I know I keep reiterating that, but why does this have so many parallels to Abu Dhabi 2021?
Well, maybe Codemasters
there was
actually
a mix
got
of Abu Dhabi 2010 in there as well, when Mayank couldn't pass the midfield car, basically. Back on Hypers. Maybe he was covering off the wrong Mercedes in this scenario.
Right, so let's see what Mayank does.
Of every Abu Dhabi finale, actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah. And let's see if it's going to be Mercedes or Aston Martin this time around. And the safety car is in this lap. That's the message. Vintage player will control the safety car restart, and is giving enough time for the safety car to come into the pits, and that's when he'll go racing. We'll ride on board with Yash and see when Vintage player decides to bolt. He has Redstone Dub behind him, and Redstone Dub will be more than eager to just bow out of the way for his teammate Yash Gosalia.
But he has to do it in a smart position to where he doesn't lose many positions himself. He still has zone race to worry about.
Absolutely.
I think he'll do it on the back straight.
That is possible. Vintage player, I think, has gone. Yes,
he has. But remember, you can't overtake him. So even if he has a bad exit out of that corner, you can just slow it down again.
And there you go. Redstone Dub is moving out of the way. Is he? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
And that's a swap of the Mercedes. Further behind, Mayank is behind Hershey.
Behind another Red Bull.
The Red Bulls are the bane of his existence right now, as riding on board with Mayank, and Hershey is trying to overtake Sid Kulkarni, both of whom are also battling for a position. Hershey has to stay behind for now and will still continue to ride on board with Mayank and watch him deplete everything he has in the battery in a hope to get at least one position on the back straight.
Yash Gosalia is already on the back. He's not going to leave anything up to fate.
And test player weaving slightly, but Yash Gosalia, is he going down the inside? No, he does not.
You cannot do that through there. Especially when you don't have DRS. I mean, realistically, Yash Gosalia can wait the entire 3-lap period that he doesn't have DRS.
But beautiful traction out of that zone. further behind. Mayank is closing in, but Yash Kosalia on the back of Vintage. He'll have to go round the outside. Vintage is covering the inside.
That is a smart placement of his car there from Vintage.
And
So for
Vintage
now, he
keeps the lead. And Mayank is still stuck behind a Red Bull. And can he get his way past? No, he does not.
I think if Gosalia finishes second, Mayank needs to finish sixth.
I don't think Yash is going to finish second, you know, so I'm not even...
Yes, but I am just leaving it all out there.
Can you give me who's the fastest lap right now, VFix? If you can just check that for us.
It is Yash Gosalia, so...
Oh, okay. So that's settled. And he will have the fastest lap anyway once he overtakes Vintage.
Yeah, because he's gonna have a clear track. The only guy to have a clear track.
Right. So Mayank...
Unless someone pits. Oh, I saw Hershey going a bit out of shape.
Yeah, he was out of shape at the exit of turn 1.
But no, he gets an insane exit there.
And he might even challenge Sid Kulkarni going into that entry into that chicane. No, he hangs back for now. Let's see on the exit if Yash Gosalia can make his way past Vintage player.
I think Yash Gosalia is just waiting at this point. He's not going to try and force anything drastic. If an opportunity arises before DRS is open, then he's going to take it. If not, then you might as well wait. There's really no urgency here. And given how much ERS I can see on his car, I think he feels the same as well.
Yeah, so
and Mayank is really not moving up.
He cannot. He's using his battery when everyone else is.
And he's gone a bit wide there as well. So probably the overtake wouldn't even count if you do it like that. This is not going well right now for Mayank.
Oh, Sid Kulkarni and Hershey have swapped places. So Hershey has made it through, and Sid Kulkarni...
Oh, and Mayank is gonna have to go opportunity stick down the inside. Oh no, can't get the move done. Oh, someone's off.
Can Mayank go round the outside?
No,
I think yes, he has. Now he has, I hope.
That's it, yeah, he does get the move done. He's one more, theoretically.
But Redstone Dop has a penalty, remember?
Because I think now it's time for Yash Gosalia to take the lead. He's shown incredible patience, to be honest, to even stay that this far back right now.
Right, so 3 laps to go, including this one. Yash Gosalia will take the lead, I have to believe, on the back.
He could have overtaken him through there if he wanted, through the sweep.
Yeah, so Redstone Dub, that's what I want to see, because Redstone Dub has a penalty, so has Hershey. So Mayank has those positions in the bag anyway. But he would want to look at that. Yash Gosalia going down the inside on the hairpin, and
he already has DRS, so
and he has DRS as well to help him streak away. So this would be good, unless Vintage has other ideas. Let's see if Redstone Dub can follow through. Vintage is trying everything he can.
At this point, he's defending more from this Mercedes and attacking the other one. And Gosalia is going deep into that corner.
What happened to Suraj? Suraj and Mayank going side by side.
Side by side. Manan down the inside. That's a nice one from Manan. Meanwhile, Deadly Mosquito takes advantage of Abhi takes advantage of Deadly Mosquito getting crowded out there. And he... Oh, Vintage has overtaken Yash Gosalia. What? Oh, Hershey and Redstone have contact at the same time. Oh my god, what's happening here? What is happening here? That is a twist.
And
how
Vintage,
OP is that DRS on that second straight?
That's what I'm thinking. That is very OP. And Mayank has made his way past Hershey.
Gone into before for now.
That
pending shows in Pari. Pending shows in But 2 laps left now when they cross this line. And you can see Yash Gosalia faster, but with such few laps left, everyone is just drinking ERS at this point. Meanwhile, Sid overtake, and I think Hershey disconnected because he's showing us an X on my screen.
And Suraj in the pits.
I think I know what they're doing. I think I know what they're doing.
Fastest lap. Hershey has left the session. Vintage player is struggling, and Yash has to...
Meanwhile, Redstone Dub has overtaken Mayank somehow again.
No, so he was ahead of Mayank all the time. It's Mayank who will have to then...
And Gosalia is second, Mayank fifth. So at this stage, that is enough.
Mayank is fourth. Gosalia is second.
No, the Indic game was messing up my entire
time. Yeah, it's Indic gamer. Yeah, so here goes Yash Gosalia on Vintage player yet again.
He will need to keep this. He will need to keep the exit.
Yeah. And Mayank is on the back of Redstone as well and all that.
Not gonna try it on this. Everyone's gonna focus on this exit. I think this time Yash Gosalia has done enough.
Yeah, that's a brilliant exit out of the corner. So Yash Gosalia is not going to see anyone else
But
through the rest
has
of the race.
Mayank done
Here's
enough?
goes
Because
Mayank. He's using
both
everything
of
he
them are
has.
derating down the straight. But Redstone has DRS as well, so it's going to come down to last lap shootout.
And Redstone will keep having DRS because I don't think Vintage Player is really going to run away from him. So that means Redstone will have DRS on the next lap as well, and that is not helping out Mayank. Remember, Redstone has a penalty, and there's a yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not sure for who. I think that's for Indie Gamer. And
Oh no, I
look
think
at
it was. I think I just saw Hershey's spun around. That's Hershey's ghost car.
Oh yeah, could have been Hershey who has left the session now.
But we head on to the last lap of the D2 season. The first lap of the D2 season started with Yash Gosalia in the lead, and so does the last one. But what's gonna happen? We don't know. 1/10 the gap now. Redstone and Mayank. Redstone giving all the alternate lines here, and he's defending in such a way that it will be impossible for Mayank to catch up to Vintage Player if he does manage to overtake Redstone though. So that's very smart.
Very good defending from Redstone, and I don't think it's enough at this point because I don't think Mayank will be able to get past either of them, Redstone or Vintage, because Redstone will have DRS on the Alpha Tauri and Mayank.
What's Suraj doing? What lap time is Suraj doing?
You can have a look at that.
As well.
And look at Mayank completely sticking to the left of the track. He's not going to use any battery. Well, he has none to use, and he goes for an ambitious move which does not, and he gets a 3-second time penalty as well.
And that will be the, especially because Suraj is not setting purple sectors. I think that is all she wrote. But let's just wait and watch. There's a slow moving Ferrari on the straight. Something's happened to Sid V. He's trying to give Suraj DRS at this point. I don't think that's gonna help. Yeah.
Right, so let's move
Fireworks
on
are already out.
to Yash Gosalia, and the fireworks are on for him. Manan losing a place to Api. Manan losing a lot of places, so it's Manan being Manan on the last lap of the race. But it is Yash Gosalia, and as it stands, we'll have to wait until the second flag to see the final standings, and we'll have to wait for the steward's inquiry. But he has done all he can. Yash Gosalia, his 6th win of the season, and probably a championship winning drive for him. What a drive from the Mercedes driver. Vintage Player finishes P2, Redstone P3, Mayank P4,
and it's not gonna matter. The stewards report is not gonna matter. It is not gonna matter because that is P5 for Mayank.
That
and
is not enough.
His streak ends at the one place where he didn't need it to end. Right at the end. Yash Gosalia, 6 races, except for the one that he DNF'd in. And Suraj does
his first lap of the race. Wow, he does get it at the end. So that's 25 points for Yash Gosalia, and Mayank, it's not going to be enough, is it?
That is 14 points for Mayank.
1 point.
1 point.
1
of course, pending stewards inquiry.
Pending stewards inquiry, but it's
if Yash
looks
Gosalia
like
wants
it.
to report it, then.
But it's 1 point. Wow. Even if that doesn't get reported, it's 1 point by which Yash Gosalia wins the championship.
I think we'll ask him not to report it for dramatic value.
It's looking really good for him right now, and if you can get Yash, Vintage, and Redstone up in the party chat, this also means, by the way, and invite Mayank as well. This looks like it that it's a Mercedes champion for the drivers, and Mercedes are also the constructors championship at the end of this race. So what a race we have had!
Right at the end. Oh, that was something. But Suraj did break it in the end, the fastest lap by 23,000. So if Mayank had managed to do it, that would have been an even more photo finish ending right there. And Suraj would have had something to be proud of for the end of his IRL career. But as it stands, there's nothing to be proud of. And pretty much he just cost himself a P7 finish, to be honest. So
well, yeah. But kudos to him for trying everything he could to ensure that.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough, and we will keep reminding him that it wasn't enough.
Right. So
throughout this sabbatical.
Yeah, let me know when people are in.
Let me just try and invite them to the party right now. Forgive me for multi-take. This PS5 has a new menu layout again for some godforsaken reason. They keep changing it. But yeah. So who is it? It was Yash, Redstone, and
Vintage. And Mayank. Get Mayank in as well if you can.
All right, I have sent the invite to whoever I could, but some people have these settings disabled, so you can't invite them, and I don't know who that is. So whoever that is, if you're watching the stream right now, change that setting, please.
Right, Yash is already in. We'll wait, Yash, when we speak to you. First, let's have a quick chat with vintage player as well as Mayank and Redstone Dub if they are going to join. I think Mayank is in as well, so our championship rivals are already here. Let's see if Vintage and Redstone are joining after that. Alright, so Vintage is not able to join, so Yash or
I think
Mayank.
that's his party settings. It's not allowing him to join.
Can
Madhav,
someone
because he did
else
say.
try join? So Yash or Mayank, if you can try sending Vintage player a party invite, if that works. I don't really want the audience to see a blue screen right now, but let's see if Redstone is going to join. Yes, if you can invite Redstone as well.
Oh, it is Redstone who can't join because of his party settings. So I don't know what's the scene with that. Oh, it is both of them. So I think everyone just gotten so used to just Mayank and Yash being on the podium here that they don't.
Right, so let's start with Mayank then. In that case, if others are not able to join, Mayank, what a race, a roller coaster of a race, and just take us through everything that happened in qualifying. You had a great first run, but just inherited it in the final sector, and you did put it on the front row. So it was almost a near perfect qualifying session. Just take us through your race as well, Mayank, and those battles with the two Red Bulls. I think that must have been frustrating from the cockpit.
Uh, yes, I mean, Kohli, I knew that I have a place to be in the front row. So, yeah, the lap that I worked at in Malaysia, that would have been a really good lap. Actually, more better than lap than I did afterwards, to be honest. Yeah, the strategy was to go only on two runs and save one tire for the race. As far as race is concerned, I mean, it was going pretty well until Anton. I mean, almost. What should I say about him? I mean, he was just trying to take me out. I didn't. I mean, something which is um, you don't really want to come across, and I don't know why he did that, and he kept on doing that. I know how to do hard racing, but that was not hard racing. That was clear cut trying to take me up. But anyway, so that was that. I had a damage afterwards when I came in contact with him, so I had to go for it again. So that particular segment of the race was really difficult for me, really frustrating to be honest. Just don't know the reason why I did that. And afterwards, I mean, it was going really well, to be honest. Just got time penalty taken at that chicane. But overall, I mean, a great season, great battles with Yash, Vintage, and everyone. And uh, I mean, things like this you miss, and I hope we'll see you again next season.
Right. We fix any questions for Mayank before we move on?
I just like to offer him like my salutation. I know what it feels like to constantly keep missing out on it, on the thing, on the title, but it will come because I know how fast and how consistent, especially Mayank is. So for him, it's just a matter of time. Didn't happen this time, but it'll happen eventually.
Yeah, thanks, Rachel.
Great season from you, Mayank, and we are all very proud of the way you have driven this entire season, keeping it very respectful on and off the track. So kudos to a great season. And let's move on to Redstone then. I think Redstone is in the party, so hope your party sharing is on so we can hear you on the stream. But
Yes, it is.
constructors title Redstone, how does that feel? Take us through your race. Because I think you had a compromised race. I believe you were on the hards at some point in time, but the safety car turned everything around. You stayed out on those mediums. How was the battle with those soft runners? And towards the end, your teammate seems to be compromised, seems to be confirmed for a championship. So just take us through the entire season and especially this race.
Well, congrats to Yash on the championship and got it for Mayank. He's been extremely consistent throughout the season. I mean, the season as a whole for me, it's been a roller coaster. It started off well, then I went down a bit. I don't know, it's just like my inconsistency coming through. But I'm glad we backed the constructors as well. And this particular race, it was like I couldn't put in a good lap with Paulie. I just couldn't hook up a lap, and I started P8, I think. And then I was battling Suraj for a while. And then going into turn 5, I think I saw these 3 cars parked. I went into the back of Suraj. He spun and I broke my wing. That's when I went on the hards. And I broke my wing as well. I was driving with a damaged wing until I got onto the mediums. Then it was just a matter of going to the end. So yeah, it's been a great season, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think your start of the season was not that great. You kept not scoring points, but I think a very good finish to the season, at least in this race. So congratulations
I'll
once
just
again.
stop you right there. He was leading the championship until round 4. So I think you have your facts a bit missing.
Oh, I thought he kept DNFing in the first few rounds.
Please watch the races before you commentate on this.
Right. VFix, anything to
how-
ask Redstone before we move on?
Nothing much really. Just describe how it was in that midfield melee. Was there like 11 cars within like 4 seconds of each other in like 2 separate packs, or like 4 or 5 cars just like jumbled together? How do you manage to keep your nose clean through that?
It was chaos nonetheless, because I was just like trying to lift off and hope that they'll make an error, because it was just chaos. Like 3 cars going into a corner, it was crazy. So I was just trying to keep my nose clean, because I already had 2 damaged front wings, so I couldn't, afford another one. So I was just keeping it on track, doing my best.
Regardless, Redstone, remember a Constructors Championship is a championship nonetheless, even though Caesar doesn't put you on the wall of champions for some reason.
Yes, it is.
But-
It is. Absolutely, it is a championship, and you are a champion,
Yes.
just like I was. But yeah, great drive.
He was carried less though, Malav. Let's be honest.
Right, but yeah, Redstone, great season from you, and we hope to see you fighting for championship once again the next time in season 7. Moving on to vintage, Sachin, I hope you can hear us, and hope people can hear you on the stream as well. You
Yes, I
also
can
decided
hear you.
to stay out, and it was towards the end of the race is when we really saw you getting your elbows out and trying to battle Yash. How confident were you that you might be able to keeping it behind until the checkered flag, or do you think that the advantage which he has on the softs was just too much to defend from?
Actually, I didn't think that I could keep him behind for too long. I thought that he could take me even without DRS, but I think he played the waiting game and he waited for DRS. I mean, if not for the DRS zone where I didn't get him the second time, I probably would have stayed ahead. But everyone knows he has the most mad pace in D2. Congratulations to him, and congratulations Mayank as well. I did everything I could, but have hard luck.
We fix anything for vintage?
Vintage. I mean, you had an absolute mad lad of a race start. I mean, you went from 4th to 1st in like 1 corner, and that's one of the shortest runs to the first corner on the entire calendar. So did you think you were gonna get a good start, or was it like that it just happened and then you're like you were just in that moment, just somehow managed to get up to first?
No, actually, since the last 3-4 races, I have had amazing starts. Even in China, I almost got Yash, but for whatever reason, I didn't. I just wanted to always practice starts, but I never got a chance. But playing the game, I've got a feel for it. So last 3-4 races, I've always had the best start. I've always gained 2-3 positions. And I think Yash would have covered me off normally, but because it was such an important race for him, he played it safe.
Yeah. Nevertheless, another good end to the season for you, Vintage. Some good pace, especially race pace being shown towards the end. And hopefully you have a even better one next time around, and you're in this championship fight, and we're talking about you as the guy to look out for.
Let's hope for the best.
But as long as guys like Yash, who are so fast, are in D2, there's no one coming close.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
don't come at me
Mayank
or
tried really,
even
really
Malav, to be honest,
really,
for that.
really
Malav
hard.
is only the co-owner of this server, so he doesn't really decide.
No, I mean, Mayank didn't have his pace, but he still kept Yash honest. So I always rooted for Mayank because it was the underdog story.
Yes.
Right. So moving on to Yash, VFix, why don't you lead this interview from one multiple race winner to another?
Yash, my guy, you there?
Yes, bro.
I think, especially when you don't know what's happening behind you, I think the way you went about it, especially with the points disadvantage, was very mature. Just trying to win the race, not trying to get into the mind games or anything like that. Trying to do a Hamilton from 16 at the end. Didn't need to in the end, but I think very well executed race from you at here. And especially this last half of the season, I think if it hadn't been for somebody like equaling your level of consistency, you would have wrapped this up a long time back. But that just goes to show how high the level of driving was from both of you guys. So, congratulations on your championship, my guy.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was. Oof. I don't know if you. You didn't ask me any question, bro. I don't know what to answer.
I mean,
You
this
can
is
just
the
tell
time
us.
for a speech. This is the
You
only
can
time
just
you
tell
get
us
to
how
call
you're
your
feeling.
speech.
Yes, just reflect back on the season and the
Well,
race. 6 races out of 11. I mean, that's a lot. That's more than 50% wins.
And he was second in a lot of them. He was
Yes.
second.
Yeah, you don't know. Don't call me out. 6 out of 11 wins, and still I win by a point or 2. I don't know. That's sort of an insult to me. And
As
not
it
to
stands,
Mayank.
you're winning by 1 point.
Yeah, for dramatic
Wow.
effect, can you just like no one report Mayank for anything that might have happened with the pit lane thing? So we can just to newcomers next season, we can just say that it was decided by a point. It'll attract an audience. This is how to market it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Shit, what a race, dude. I mean, I had my. I'm not gonna say it this time, Malav. Heart in my mouth.
Yes, thank you. That's the correct usage.
Into turn 1, when I saw that Alpha Tauri go full Verstappen on me, and I was like, damn, son, this guy is like fighting on the opposite side, and I don't know what I could have done. I just kept it behind him. I didn't want to push too much. I knew Vintage is a quick driver, and it was going to be hard to pass him. So yeah, I kept it together until I think he had a moment out of turn 1 and turn 2 when I passed him. And after that, it was just yeah. I mean, you said that there was no mind games, but it was just about, I kept looking at the sheet again and again. Do I see Mayank in the top 5? Do I see Mayank in the top 5? And yeah, I mean, it was, I think, lap 27 when I saw that he was P4 with Redstone with a 3-second penalty. And the moment he got the 3-second penalty, when Mayank got it, I sort of lost my fuse at that moment itself. And I think I needed to calm myself down to finish that last 2 sectors. But yeah, what a season. Mayank has just, he just kept me on my toes. He not let me breathe easy. I have not had one easy race where, I've not bothered that, okay, you know what, where's Mayank? So yeah, really ups to him for keeping me this way. And he is the more consistent driver than me this season, no doubt about it. But yeah, I mean, I know it would feel bad to lose the championship in the last race, but still took it to the wire, and yeah, hopefully come back stronger for him and have some more fights in the future.
Yeah, and I would like to add just one more thing to that. The way you battle, I mean, the amount of the cleanliness of which you drive. You are the fastest guy in our division. You deserve to win this, and I have no regrets in losing just 1 point. You deserve it.
Thank you, man. Same goes out to you. Same goes out to you.
All right. I think that's it for the stream tonight. Are there any shout outs anyone would like to have before we end this dramatic season finale for Division 2 in season 6?
Yeah, easy level bot was my Latifi on lap 22.
Yes, he was. So Yeah, he did crash out.
I
Yeah,
was
I think he was on softs when he did crash out.
He was.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. We did not catch it on the stream at least. But either ways, very well deserved championship. Either of you, even anyone if would have won, that would have been a very deserved championship. But it has gone to Yash this time around. Mayank, I'm sure you will come back fighting next
Yeah,
season.
Madhav,
But
just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'd like to, as this is the ending finale, I just want to give a shout out and more than shout out to two of my mates. I think everybody knows the name Ace 1426, my man, and Seven has taken a break now for 7 months, but I really hope that he comes back. And Ace, my brother, for always sticking around with me in this season, no matter what. Sometimes we change our plans for the weekend just to be in the race, and he's always there. And these two guys, I mean, I want to say a thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks.
all right.
I would like to thank the fans. We are the best fans over here.
Now you are sounding like a Mercedes, proper Mercedes world champion. But either ways, yeah, good job,
Yeah,
both of you.
we're the best team in the world.
And all the guys back at the factory, I'm sure.
Yeah. Brilliant
All
work
right,
through the season.
so I think that's about it. Good job, Redstone and Vintage Player as well. That was a good end to the season for both of you. We hope to see all of you racing in IRL next season. But until then, this is goodbye. Thank you, VFix, for joining the comms box and giving us your expert insights. And let's hope you get a good result as well tomorrow night in the same track at 9:45. No, it's 9 p.m. Assuming the circuit doesn't get bombed. But either way, this is You Can Beat Me signing off. Take care of yourself. Good night, goodbye, and take care.